right, so now we're going to go into a shoulder Sankaku. We're going to look at some escapes from a topside shoulder Sankaku. So my partner can switch to a topside shoulder Sankaku pretty much at any time. When she has this a full juji, for example, and my arms are unlocked, she can go in and she can relinquish the head and she can just take her feet to topside shoulder Sankaku like so. If she has a 3/4 juji, she can switch her legs to a topside shoulder Sankaku like so and lock up, and she can go topside shoulder Sankaku. Okay? The main times my partner is going to go into a topside shoulder Sankaku is going to be once my arm is already extended and I'm working towards an escape. Okay? Because my partner has a lack of control over my head, if she switches to if she switches to any shoulder Sankaku and my arms are still locked, from here it's going to be an easy thing for me to start sitting up because of the fact that my partner has no cross face from here. Okay? So now from here, when she goes to start extending my arm and stopping me from sitting up, it's a hard thing to do because she has no cross face. If the arm is fully extended, now she can open up her knees and she can raise her hips. And as her hips come up, her knees open, and now it's a hard thing to do to sit up because of the fact that my partner's carrying my weight. But from here, if my hands are locked, she locks up from here. Now from here, when she goes to raise her hips, she can't because she can't put her back on the floor. So now I'm not carrying any of my partner's weight. So from here, I can just go in and easily start to sit up because of the lack of the cross face. So my partner from here will usually elect to switch to a shoulder Sankaku when my arm is already extended to change her leg position when I beat one of her leg positions, either with the full juji or the shoulder Sankaku or the 3/4 juji, whatever the case is. Because now she can put her back on the floor, raise the hips, open the knees, and now when I go to sit up, I'm carrying her body weight. So she'll usually elect to do this. My arm is already being extended, and I'm halfway into a late escape. Okay? So an example of this will be when she has like a 3/4 juji, and from here, I go to start off balancing my partner like so. Now from here, instead of my partner resetting the legs, what she'll do is she'll just take her top leg in this position, and she'll just take it through, and now she'll just shoot herself into a triangle. So now what this does is it allows her to stay in the same position. She doesn't have to readjust and point her knees to the ceiling. From here, she just stays in the same position. She starts to bring my elbow over her hip, and now she can go in and break me. And in addition, now when I try to go into a rolling escape from the 3/4 juji, I'm thinking from the 3/4 juji, right, that I'm going to go into a rolling escape. When I go to do that now, I can't because my partner's leg is wedged underneath my head. So I'm like, oh man, this is no good. So whenever I say I go into a topside shoulder Sankaku, it's very strong because of the fact that I'm limited to an escape on one side. It's a very hard thing for me if my partner has good leg position to go into a rolling escape. Even if I threaten to sit up first, like so, if I try to go into a rolling escape here, my partner just puts her leg back on the floor, her heel back on the floor, and it's hard for me to go into a rolling escape. I have to be able to get all the way through and underneath my partner's leg, and that's a very difficult thing to do. And even so, I'm still stuck with this pillow underneath my head. So it's just a disaster trying to go into a rolling escape from here. All right, every time I try to go back into a rolling escape, she just plants her heel on the floor, and now I can't go into a rolling escape, and my partner breaks me anyways. Okay, so whenever I see this, my partner goes into a topside shoulder Sankaku. From here, I'm going to play a game where I threaten going into a rolling escape. So I pendulum my body out and away. I threaten going into a rolling escape. And what this does is it points my partner's knee slightly in the direction I'm moving. As I go to pendulum in this direction, I whip back in the opposite direction, and I post on the outside of my partner's knee with the intention of getting my ear outside my partner's knee and thigh like so. Remember that position we were in before? Like so? Same thing. So now I play a game where from here, I like to collapse my partner's two knees together, like so. As she goes to break me, I build up to my knees, and now from here, we just yank the elbow free, and we can easily pull our elbow out, okay? So first one is we go in, and for every given scenario, usually it's from a 3/4 juji, we go in, and we start creating an initial off balance, trying to go into our rolling escape. So from here, we start bridging. We think we're going to go into a rolling escape. As we go to do that, my partner switches to shoulder Sankaku, and now I'm like, oh man, I'm getting stuck, and I'm getting broken this whole time. So now I threaten going into the rolling escape a little bit further. So either I walk in this direction, or I pendulum my legs in this direction, and I get my partner's knee pointing slightly in the direction I want it to go. And now from here, we go in and we take our hand to our partner's knee. We just whip up like so. Now we play a game. If we can take our partner's knees together, we go into the previous move. Many times, my partner will be trying to open up the knee. So it's imperative from here that I keep my knee or my ear on the outside of my partner's knee. From here, we go in, we scissor the legs, we build up, we start driving towards our partner. When she goes to start breaking me, extending me from here, I just pressure forward towards my partner. And from here, we take our partner's hips up and over her shoulders, and then we just pull the arm free. Okay? What I can't have, this is a situation where she goes to her shoulder Sankaku. I sit up, and my partner has a shin in front of my collarbones. When I go to drive forward from here, she will extend and break me. So from this position, I have to make sure that if I am coming forward towards my partner, I can either one, always beat the knee, or two, if I go to drive forward and she goes to break me from here, I have to go back down into a rolling escape and then whip back up to beat my partner's knee. You have to go back and forth between these two, okay? And now from here, I either one, crush my partner's two knees together, or I two, start pressuring forward towards my partner. And now when she goes to break me, she has no ability to create distance between me and her because there's no shin wedge in front of my collarbones. And now it just hits forward and we pull everything out, all right? So, top side shoulder Sankaku. My partner makes a transition from 3/4 juji. I play a game between trying to roll and whipping up. If I whip up and my partner beats me with a knee position, she opens up her knee. Then we go back in the opposite direction. And now from here, we're ready to go in and start pulling our arm out and away. So that's escaping with top side shoulder Sankaku. And now, let's continue from there, moving into bottom side and then scissor juji.